Hey everybody, my name is Kevin Fong. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a certified strength and conditioning coach. My job today is to teach you guys how to work and strengthen and warm up your low back and your core. So without further ado, let's get into the 5 exercises, okay? The first exercise we're going to do is called a standing cat-cow with an overhead reach. It's a little bit of mobility and it's a little bit of strength worked into one. I'm going to face sideways so you can kind of see my profile view. I'm coming down into a nice, comfortable, athletic kind of linebacker position. From there, I'm just going to slowly curve my head, tucking my head underneath me, rounding my tailbone, and then slowly arching, neck included, up so I get a nice good extension both through my low back and my neck, okay? We're just going to warm up back and forth there just so we can bring good circulation into the area. And then when you're ready, we'll progress from that mobility portion into this extended position, and I'm going to reach nice and high overhead, thumbs to the ceiling, okay? If you get a little pinch in the shoulder blades, just bring your arms down a little bit. I'm going to bring my arms back in. We're going to do a couple more. With a nice big reach from there, because your arms are nice and heavy, you'll start feeling a little bit of tension build up in the low back, and that's what we're aiming for. It's time to strengthen your low back to get you ready for the day, okay? Bringing our arms back, and I'm just going to do a couple more reps. All right, guys, the next motion we're going to do is called a frog crunch to a torso reach. Get yourself in this nice big sumo or frog-like position, hands on your hips, feeling the weight transfer into both legs, okay? From here, remember, we're here for a core exercise, so I'm going to have your hands behind your head, trying to bring your rib cage underneath you, contracting your abs. You're going to use those abs to try to touch elbow to the same knee, and then from there, you're going to outstretch your arm, not straight up, not straight to the side, but splitting the difference so that you can appreciate some type of stretch going on to the side muscle, oblique, QL, stuff like that. And we're just going to do it again, okay? I set myself up. I'm going to go to the opposite side, crunching down, feeling nice, good contraction in my trunk as I reach nice and long and stretch that same muscle group, okay? I'm just going to do it back and forth a couple more times. I crunch down, feeling the contraction on my left, and then I stretch that muscle. So just like everything in life, we'll strengthen and stretch the same muscle group to stay balanced, okay? Crunch and reach. If you feel a little bit of burn in the legs, it's just added bonus. Just keep working through it, okay? If you need to, you can stand up and shake those legs out. Let's just do a couple more on your own. Trying to stay in the same plane, making sure we don't bend too far backwards or too far forwards. Okay, third exercise, we're going to get a little bit of motion that's a little more dynamic than before, okay, to get your heart rate going. The entire time, think about using that core, keeping your back nice and straight and stable. I'm going to come down. My hands are either going to be overlapped or interlocked. My hands are going to try to resume and stay in the middle of my chest. I'm going to pivot down, one leg in front of the other, chopping down because it's called a wood chop, okay? As I pivot, my arms stay within my chest turns with my arms, and then from there, I give a little bit of push into my knee to get a little bit of extra contraction in my abs, and we come back down and reset, okay? We're gonna start the same exact side, and then we'll do a couple before we change sides, okay? Arm down, pulling my arms up like I'm chopping wood, making sure I rotate through my trunk, staying nice and contracted, and then I add a little bit of press, hands meet the knees meet the hand, okay? And then I come back down, okay? We'll do it again. Down, up, and press. I'm gonna do 3 on the other side just so you get a good view when we change directions, okay? I'm gonna start down. If my right leg is in front, my left leg is in back. I'm gonna spin towards my left. Trunk turns with it, and I give a little bit of pressure with my hands into my knee, knee into my hands, and then back, and we reset, okay? Down, up, press, and reset. Let's just do a couple more. All right, guys, exercise number 4, it's all about building mobility into back extension as well as engaging some abdominals, some core muscles, okay? I'm going to stand to the side so you can get a good view. Be careful on the back extension. It's not to go crazy. Stay controlled as we come up overhead. My arms are going to come up overhead, so I stand tall like a toothpick. I slowly reach back, allowing my hips to shift forward. And then from there, I'm going to tuck my elbows in and do a little bit of like an air crunch. Okay, so from here I feel my abdominals kicking in, and I'm just going to reset and do it all over again, okay? So let's reach far, not just straight up, not straight back behind you, but splitting the difference, reaching long, sending the hips forward, and then a little bit of an ab crunch in the air with it, okay? I'm just going to do a couple more so you can get a good view. I'm reaching long, exhaling through my motion. And then I crunch back, bringing it all in nice and tight, rib cage to my belly button. I'm going to do a couple more. Okay, last but not least is a little bit of an exercise to get your mid-back moving a little bit more, because we know when the mid-back is stiff, people tend to move through their low back and cause strain and pain a lot of the time. So a lot of workplace injuries are in the low back. Let's start preventing that by moving our mid-back a little bit more, all right? I'm going to come down. My feet are nice and wide with my feet slightly plied or turned out. I'm coming down nice and deep into a deep, deep squat to the point where my hands touch my ankles, okay? I'm then going to rotate not just my arm, but my chest towards that sky, appreciating a little bit of a stretch or a twist in my mid-back. And then I come back, and I return to the starting point, and let's do the other side. Again, let the hands drift all the way down towards those ankles. I even have a little bit of counter pressure from my elbow into the inside of my knee as I rotate up. The arm does not matter. It's going along for the ride. The objective is to twist your trunk, your chest open. And I come back and return. Let's do a couple more. Down, making sure your back is nice and straight. Exhaling on the way through. Turn in that mid-back. And then returning. And I'll do a couple on my own.